Hey everyone, and welcome to my weekly check-in vlog, where I take you along for the weekend to see how I'm doing and what I'm reading. My name is Wiebke, and this year I'm trying to get myself out of survival mode. Unfortunately, things aren't going so well lately, and I think it's because the SAD kicked in, the seasonal affective disorder. We haven't had sunshine properly all week. It's been dark and gloomy, and I've been struggling to get out of bed, stick to my routines, and eat properly. So yeah, you gotta pay for that at my age. It's just what it is. I also found myself being very good at focusing on the things that didn't work instead of noticing the things that work. Well, I noticed them, but not in the same way. And since things at work are currently very not working and I don't feel as productive as I could be, it's very easy to get stuck on the negative and on the things that don't work. So this weekend I need to catch up on a lot of maintenance work. There's a lot of cleaning to be done. There are a lot of things I want to take care of, like errands, and maybe deal with a few things that I ordered and unpack. One thing I also noticed this week that wasn't going well is that I kept waking up stressed for time. I always felt that I didn't have enough time, that I was behind on the day, and that's not true. It's a completely imaginary feeling because the only thing I have to do is go to work for 8 hours and do something there. And since my work is not output related, I feel like I need to be more productive, but no one checks it. No one cares, actually. So it's all imaginary and from being the person who I want to be. But it being dark in the morning, I don't get out of bed in time. So I feel like I'm behind and I'm stressed for time all the time. So I want to get a little bit of a blank slate this weekend, dealing with maintenance tasks, really giving myself a sit down and see where I'm at, what I actually need to do, and how I can get a better feel for time again, so that I don't wake up stressed, but maybe a little bit more relaxed, because fun fact, if you feel stressed all the time, you don't get anything done. It doesn't really help you. Yeah. So let's go running first. Saturday mornings is for running, and I am going to start a new audiobook, The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses. It is a third in a series about two detectives in space. That's all I can sum up right now. I really enjoy Malka's writing. I've listened to the first books as well and enjoyed them. Maybe I should have re-listened to them to familiarize myself with the detectives again. But yeah, I didn't do that. So let's see what is happening now and how their relationship is going, because that's been a struggle on and off throughout the other books. So I am going, I don't know, maybe 5K. Let's see. Stressful time, right? Things aren't going according to plan. I went for my run, started the audiobook, and it was just fun. Like I said, it's probably going to be about their breaking or fragile relationship a little bit again. The series is about these two detectives, or rather, one is an inspector and the other one is a scholar. They had been dating at school, Mossa and Platy, and in university, but afterwards they kind of lost contact. And in the first book in the series, they get connected again because Mossa needs help, that's the investigator, from the scholar, because something happened where she needs a scholar to look into things, to solve the first mystery they are looking at. The novels are usually narrated by Platy, the scholar, and Mossa often has her point of view in a prologue. So this book also starts with a prologue, and we see Mossa standing or hiding in front of Platy's door, too scared to go in, insecure, and then she leaves, even though Platy's inside waiting for her. And then somebody else shows up. We get the novel starting, so we switch perspective to Platy, and it's an old friend they also went to school with, and her sister or cousin, I forgot, but some relative of the friend is going to be awarded something scholarly in another place on, I think, the same planet. And there is also some plagiarism accusations for her research. And so Platy goes to ask Mossa if she wants to continue and come along to investigate. because the friend doesn't really want the investigator, but also wants the investigator. It's a little bit shaky there. But Mosa says no, and is very depressive, and basically makes Brady feel even more insecure. So she leaves with the other friend, whose name, of course, I forgot, to go to the other university place and meet up with the friends and her sister and or cousin, and they start just meeting. And while she's there, a lot of thoughts that she has is about her insecurities, if she should have stayed with Mosa, if she should have asked more for help and asked more to support her or whatever. And even though I normally get annoyed by this kind of things, in this series, I actually enjoy their insecurities in their relationship, even though it's pretty clear that both of them are very interested in each other and wanting to have a relationship. But their personalities are somewhat different. I don't really know what's happening with the mystery yet. It seems that the cousin or sister developed some kind of air filter. Everybody there, because it's on a planet and the air is not so good, so they always have some kind of air scarf. They have a nice name for it, which I always forget. But so she apparently invented a nasal filter. It's something. And so she doesn't need to use this scarf. And that's where I'm at. Not very far in. But I am enjoying it as usual, so I'm hoping to get more chances to listen tomorrow, but I don't know if I can finish on the weekend. But hopefully I can tell you more about the mystery and what's going to happen and where things are going. After my run, my plans were to just have some breakfast, then go to town and do stuff, maybe do some cleaning, and I took a nap. And then I started reading a little bit more in Snuff. I'm still reading Snuff by Terry Pratchett. The book is about Commander Vimes, and he's been sent on vacation to the country where his wife, or rather he now, owns some land and has a country house. But of course there is a mystery going on, and there happened to be a murder, and it's all about goblins and how the people look down on goblins and think they're not really people. And so they can treat them like vermin and stuff. And some smuggling is going on. I'm about halfway through. I had hoped to finish the book on the weekend, and that should have been my main focus, but I kept falling asleep while I was reading. So I'm not sure. I also don't feel like going to town anymore. I have to pick up one order at a store. I like to order things to a store so I can maybe not buy them if I don't like how they look. But I had a plan of other things yesterday that I needed to do in town, but now I don't remember any of it. So I'd have to go out, cycle to town, pick up my order, which is the most ridiculous thing because it's sort of like a sun hat. It's a visor to block not daylight, but the light in the office. I've very sensitive to the office light, and in recent weeks I've been wearing a base cap every day at work just to block out the light from the overhead lights that all my colleagues want to have on because we don't have any daylight anymore. And I can't focus, I can't see, and I'm squinting my eyes all the time because my eyes hurt from the light. So I bought or ordered a visor that I don't have a hat on all the time, but it's just a bigger blockage than the base cap. I'm thinking that that is that, and that will be less ridiculous and maybe more ridiculous, who knows. But that's what I ordered. That's what I wanted to pick up. But I'm too lazy now. What time is it? It's 4:30. I spent half an hour doing my physiotherapy exercises, and I told you before that I felt very stressed for time all the time this week, and I had a discussion with a colleague, and we were talking about the things where I'm just like, when am I all supposed to do all the things? All the exercise, all the weightlifting, all the sprinting, all the jumping, and then all the exercises I actually want to do. And basically, I don't really have the energy for any of that. And it's very difficult. I'm stressed because of that, and other people feel or look like they are like, yeah, but there's time. I do that all the time. And I was thinking, and at first I agreed that, yeah, half an hour a day doesn't sound so much. And I was just like, I do half an hour a day. But just the physiotherapy exercises took me half an hour. Running this morning was more than half an hour. And if I want to run longer than just 4 kilometers, that's all I did, 4 kilometers, very, very slow, then it's even more time. And I do like to do something in the morning and something in the afternoon. I've also started getting better again. No, I was worse this week than last week. Anyways, I started going on after work walks again because those genuinely help me and I feel good, but it's also an hour. It's like half an hour a day of exercise doesn't cut it. And then I'm not even jumping because I live in a very shaky house and I live on the 3rd floor. I don't want to trouble my neighbors with 10 minutes of jumping exercises. And I kind of don't like all the weightlifting I'm supposed to do. Yeah. The light coming from there is a daylight lamp. I bought one because maybe that's helping with the SAD, the SAD. I don't know. But the thing I already noticed that I didn't check for, it was very cheap. So I don't know why I expected it to have like a battery. But no, it needs to be connected to the electricity. So it's less flexible than I thought. I thought I could just put it somewhere, but I need somewhere near a socket. Oh well. But I'm trying to see if having that light on helps and maybe de-stress me a little bit. Yeah. And also I didn't look and plan on goals. I don't feel like doing that either. I wanted to film my wrap-up for September. Still haven't done that. I forgot half the books I read. I looked up 2 already what the content was about. And then I was, oh yeah, I liked those books. But I couldn't tell you what they were about. So I think I'm skipping my monthly wrap-up this month. Let me know what you think about that. If you like my wrap-ups or if you stopped watching them because with the weekly check-ins, I can basically talk about all the books I'm reading, mostly. I reread books during the week that I didn't talk about. I actually listened to the Monk and Robot series again because I was so stressed. And even though I hated Small Angry Planet, the series has become a comfort for me. I forget the details every time. I know the bigger story of the monk and the robot meeting and starting to travel together and dealing with purpose and need and just bringing home the philosophy of you're enough, you don't need to do something to be valued and important. But the details in the writing and the quoting things, I keep forgetting those. And the beginning of the book was already, the first book, was for me that I felt, yes, this is for me, because it says, this is for everyone who could use a break right now. And I was like, yes, I could use a break, mostly from me, but also from having to do things. I could use a break. And the monk, in the beginning of the book, has like a small existential crisis because he's doing a job and he doesn't want to do it anymore. So he decides to become a tea monk. So for the next 2 years, he learns the job, gets better at it, and enjoys doing the job and feels fulfilled. But at some point, he starts feeling empty again. And it's a feeling that I can connect to. It's this feeling of waking up empty, even though you have everything you want, and you feel spoiled for it. And so this time, I really connected to that book. And the second book is basically a continuation of talking about purpose, thinking about being enough, taking a rest, and where your place where your place in society is, and everything. One thing I must say though is what I feel that is glossed over, or something I noticed this time a lot, is that basically they found each other in a good company way. So even though they don't fulfill every need they have in whatever, but the monk and robot fulfill a company position for each other, that they become friends and they are not lonely, they are together in the thing, but they don't have to be exhausting friends, or they don't have to give each other a lot. Do you know what I mean? So basically it is pointing out the social part of that you're not alone. Even though if you're alone among other people sometime, if you have the right person, you are not alone and you can be who you are, be yourself. And that is a good thing if you have that person. If you don't have that person, it can be stressful or rather lacking. You're lacking something. Yeah, all the thoughts I had. So what else was going on? I don't know. I think I'm going to make food. Or no, I should go to town. I should pick up the visor. I will regret not picking up the visor on Monday when I have another busy work day. I'll talk to you later. I'm crashing badly. I'm going to have to stop the day. I didn't really film much anymore yesterday. I went to town, picked up the visor. Hopefully it'll help. It's not beautiful, but hopefully it'll help. Then I got home. I was too tired. I made food, sat down and started watching Love in the Clouds, really enjoying it. So hopefully I can survive the next dramas that are coming. Then today, mostly reading happened. I was too exhausted to really do what I wanted to do, so I read a lot in snuff. I have about 100 pages left, but my head is hurting, so I can't read anymore. I'll link my full review from my first read down in the description. I don't know if it's my mood or if the writing is a little bit too descriptory and long-winded. I feel it's explaining a little bit too much. That doesn't need to be explained, but could be also my mood. Anyways, the other thing I did was go on a long walk, hoping I'd get more energy. I didn't, but I finished the Potency of Ungovernable Impulses. Those titles of the series are always hard to remember for me, but I finished the audiobook and I really enjoyed listening to it. The relationship between Mossa and Platy is still very insecure and vague. They keep having to reassure themselves. Mossa really fell into a bout of melancholy and wanted to distance herself and not bother anyone, and Platy was hurt by that. The investigation or the mystery, it's not really a mystery. We had a scholar who was threatened and always discredited. So the mystery around that, who did it and why, was solved, of course. I really liked the solution. What I also like about the series is that it's also addressing the idea of Earth is not inhabitable anymore. Humans ruined that. So that's why people live on some other planets, something like. And they are scholarly trying to find out how to reseed Earth to make it livable again. And that's a storyline throughout the books, and also about the scholarly ideas like the classics and the modernists and what they want. So that's also going along there, giving you some great ideas of philosophy and humankind and some other things. I'm really enjoying the series. And that's it, basically. That's what I did today. I wanted to do quite a lot of other things, but my brain is not having it. My body is not having it. I don't even know when I managed to edit this. Definitely not today. So we'll see. Let me know in comments how your weekend was. Did you read something good? Have you read any of the books I talked about? And yeah, let's talk in comments. And I'll see you hopefully with more energy next weekend. Bye-bye.